Hey guys, Ryan here, Espey's Gym. It's Training Tuesday again. So if you watched the previous episode with Hutchings, Mr. Hutchings, that is, we were talking about the JM press and how it was beneficial. It was invented by a powerlifter, J.M. Blakely, and it was brought into the sport of arm wrestling by Mr. Hutchings himself, so full credit to him. The first time I had heard of it was in a seminar, and I'm going to show a clip of that seminar with the permission of Artem and Toprollking. We are going to play that, and we're also, with the permission of EliteFTS, going to play the real J.M. Blakely explaining the JM press. You're going to see my warm-up to it, which is my entire shoulder workout, to be honest, and me demonstrating some of it through a progressive overload style of training. I hope you enjoy it. And part of the Hutchings interview is and if you guys understand what I'm saying, some of you won't, some of you will. The reverse hyper revolutionized powerlifting and brought a lot of guys that were suffering from injuries back into the fold and increased their lifts dramatically. We were talking about what is that exercise for arm wrestling? How can we find it? And we had some debate offline about which exercise that could be. The JM press could be that exercise. Time will tell, but I mean, with arm wrestling having several different styles and outside a set plane of movement, that could be a robust discussion. And I'm hoping that I can get Mr. Hutchings and a few of the top guys for training and arm wrestling together for a show, and we can break down that exact topic. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Tendon health. Beginners, your elbows always hurt. They always hurt at the beginning. You have to do the JM presses. Okay? Does everybody know what the JM presses are? No. You know what the JM presses are, right, Craig? Yes, sir. All right, can you explain it to these folks?
I'm not so much mushrooms.
Kind right. So normally, if you're benching, you're coming down to the arm with your elbows out, and then your skull crushers and your tricep extensions are up here. A JM press, you grab the bar, you'll false grip it, so you put the thumbs on the same size as your fingers, and you bring the bar down below your chin. But the point is, you bring it down until the arm stops, so your forearms and your biceps touch. So different people can go different depths. You know, beginners can go way down. That's all the farther I can go. What that does is it puts both sides of your elbow in tension. So it actually stretches those tendons, and then you just press it back up. Okay? And that's the one exercise I found which will actually strengthen the tendons, and so then they'll eventually stop hurting, because where all that elbow pain comes from, and beginners get it worse than anybody else, is they spend a lot of time losing during their table time. So if you're locked up and somebody pulls you open, that puts those tears in those tendons, and that's what hurts. Once you start getting better and you start winning more and more, you're not getting ripped open all the time, so your elbows stop hurting. But those JM presses will definitely strengthen the tendons. And you can go on YouTube. The guy who invented them still, I mean, he's like in his 30s or something. He explains how to do it in a video. Well, I recommend making a slight variations to it. So the normal JM press is a normal, like, medium shoulder width grip. But when you do them, take an illegal wide grip, do a set wide, then a set medium, and then a set close. Okay? Because weightlifters and stuff, when they bench, they only got to move that bar in their one groove. But since we're arm wrestlers, people are pulling you in different angles, so you want to have that strength over the whole width of the table. Okay? So when you do them, superset, wide grip, medium grip, narrow grip, wide grip, medium grip, narrow grip. The other thing that will help on those is if you don't put all the weight on the bar, but hang some of the weight either on straps or bands so that the bar is wobbly while you're trying to bench it. That forces you to control it, and that'll work both the shoulders and all the stabilization muscles. Start doing them, you will notice within weeks that your elbows feel better and healthier, and after a month or two, your elbow pain should be gone. You really shouldn't have it anymore. I've been doing them for about a year, but this year for sure, I've had several of these type events where I've arm wrestled like 7 and 8 hours at a time, and my elbows no longer hurt. My shoulders are starting to get sore now. So I've actually moved the weak point of my arm wrestling out of my elbow and into my shoulder.
What's the sets and reps for?
I started doing sets of 20 and 30. I'm now doing sets of like 8, and it's just faster, and I haven't really noticed a difference. I like to push everything. If you're not doing 1 rep maxes, I like everything in the 6 to 8 rep range. So it's about 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max, just because it forces you to use more of the muscles in your body. And then when you're doing sets up to 8 or so, you're kind of working to failure anyways. But that alone is worth any money you spent to get here, because it will make that elbow pain go away. Okay, so definitely train the JM presses and train your shoulders.
So the exercise itself is taking a straight bar at about 15 inches or so. Not a narrow grip like you'd see bodybuilding or muscle building, but something similar to a close grip bench, 15, 18 inches. Elbows out at 45 degrees. As the bar comes down, you rock the knuckles back. So as it comes down to between your chin and lower throat area, somewhere in there, the bar starts here, and then you curl your wrists away, so they're always ready to push. And when you finish, they finish back like a normal, when you normally hold it. Don't bend them back too much, or you'll still get that pain in your wrist, so you don't want that. But about 15 inches, curl the wrists down, and then the elbows have to stay up. If the elbows come down, you're going to involve the shoulders too much. So you have to keep the elbows above the body, because if you just bring it down, you're just doing a bench to neck narrow grip. And that's not a JM press. A JM press is keeping those elbows up, and then you just punch out. Boom, boom, boom. 45 degrees from the midline of your body. Cock the wrists, 15 inches or so. Keep the elbows up. Don't let the elbows come down. Elbows up, punch. That's it. All right, so hop aboard.
Do I need to get arched or just like
Nope,
flat?
Flat. Yeah. You don't need nothing. It's very simple. Give yourself enough room just in case. So scoot down a little bit, take it out. So I tend to go 2 on the smooth, 2 on the knurling, on a normal tooled bar. All right, so as you begin to come down, I want you to flare your elbows at 45 degrees from the midline of your body. Now, they're going to want to come down, but I'm going to keep them up.
Okay.
Let that come to your neck, cock the wrists. Nope, the other way, you had it right. Yep. Now you see how that stopped? Mm-hmm. If you let your shoulders go, it can keep coming.
Yeah.
So you keep those shoulders in, and keep the elbows up, and the arms at 45 degrees. And it's going to be somewhere over your chin or throat. Punch it out. That's it. Fold here. Elbows stay up. No, let it go till it goes. It'll stop on its own. Mm-hmm. See it stop?
Yep.
It's stop. It's sitting on your forearm and bicep. Punch. Fold. Elbows up. Up this way. Yep. Shoulders in. Elbows up. Punch. Now this time as you go down, flex your bicep.
Okay.
2. And flex this. And see if that gives you more support down there.
Yep.
Feel that support?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Take it down. Punch it up. Pause there for a second. Drive it out. That's fine. Now here's what happens. Here's what goes wrong. The elbows come out too much. So do one. We'll do it wrong.
Okay.
Elbows come out too much. It becomes too much of a press. They have to stay at 45 degrees. Right? The other thing that goes wrong is, come on up. The other thing that goes wrong is the shoulders come down. So now bring the bar down all the way to your neck. See it?
Yeah.
The elbows are way down below your body. So I'm going to readjust you by pulling your shoulders up, and your elbows up and your shoulders in, and now everything's ready to go. And that's all there is to it. You can use tons and tons of weight eventually. Yep. Rack it.
So guys, as I had mentioned before, I did my shoulder workout before I had moved on to the JM press. So you're seeing here me using the Viking press that was made for me by Arm Assassin Strength Shop, and I usually do about 4 or 5 sets of this before I move on. And up to, I've only got 2 plates on here right now, but I sometimes go as high as 6. Sometimes do them standing, depends what I feel like. And then going forward, bent lateral raise, another 4 sets of that, and it's nothing too fancy, but that's basically the entire shoulder workout, with the exception of maybe some standing side raises with dumbbells or whatever. Now moving on, you notice I don't take a false grip or a suicide grip on this one, and probably not the best form either. My elbows are getting a little bit low, and I'm not really cranking my wrist or flexing my wrist over like is suggested in the tutorial, but I mean, watching it back on video is also handy, and I suggest you could do that too, just to critique what you're doing while you are in the middle of or doing your training. You look back, critique yourself, correct your form if you don't have a training partner, because we're in COVID times. That's exactly what's happening here. Now I've got 135 pounds on the bar. The form doesn't get much better. My elbows are dropping a little bit low. They're not too bad, but the movement still feels really good. I haven't pushed this one a ton, but I will. This is still kind of a new exercise to me, and I hope you guys really got something out of this video today. This is going to be a game changer for a lot of guys that are experiencing elbow pain, arm wrestlers. And let me know if you guys have any questions or what you'd want to see in some future videos.